A bad habit that I have is biting my nails. I like to bite my nails a lot.
I chew my fingernails and I eat a lot of stuff I'm not supposed to with braces on.
Bad habit that I have is smacking my gum.
A bad habit that I have is that I go home and play video games too much.
A bad habit that I have is not stretching after I run.
See, you already make me feel bad because you actually run. Like, I don't even run. A bad habit that I have is that I don't run.
A bad habit that I have is biting my fingernails.
I do bite my fingernails a lot.
I crack my knuckles a lot.
A bad habit that I have is paying my little cousin to do my own work.
Like your own work?
No, more like chores, like feeding the animals. He ties my shoes for me in the morning once in a while. I'll give him a quarter for that. Just little things that I am just too lazy to do myself.
So just basic human qualities you pay your cousin to take care of for you.
Yes.
We all have bad habits, right? For me, I bite my fingernails all the time, and when I was a kid, I would even bite my toenails. Disgusting, right? It even got so bad that I got an ingrown toenail and a terrible infection down there. I mean, we all know how dangerous our bad habits can be. I mean, sure, there are some that are harmless, but then there are others that are really dangerous. The ones that we don't joke about, the ones we don't want anyone to know about. Those sins in my life that I want to keep hidden, that I'm afraid will be found out. The ones that I've tried again and again to stop, but I just can't seem to. Why is it that our sinful habits can grab hold of us so tightly? Why is it that we have thoughts that shock even us and we're the ones who think them? Why is it that we do things and then after we're done we think, where did that come from? Well, let's look at this verse from the book of Jeremiah. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it?" Jeremiah, who was a prophet, someone who spoke for God, he's saying that our heart deceives us. We think we know what we feel and what we think, but then out of nowhere comes this thought, or out of nowhere we do this thing and we think, where did that come from? Well, it came from our heart because our heart deceives us. Our heart is sick. There are things like anger, greed, hatred, lust, and jealousy that lurk in our heart, and they come out in ways we never expect. We hurt ourselves and those around us because our heart is sick. So how can we cure it? Well, the verse tells us our heart is beyond cure. Well, that's depressing. I mean, if our heart is beyond cure, what do? Well, we have to let it die and let Christ live in us instead. Look at this verse from the book of Romans. "For we know that our old self was crucified with him so that the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves to our sin." In order to cure our sinful hearts, we have to allow it to die, to be crucified with Christ and allow him to live in us instead. Now, I know that sounds very weird, but all that means is that we daily choose to let Christ live in us and make the decisions for us. That means that we slow down and we think things through. One verse tells us that we take captive every thought we have and we make it obedient to Christ. When we think an evil thought, we don't just let it live in our hearts and minds. We take it captive and we throw it away if it doesn't match up to Christ's standard for our lives. And then we begin to guard our heart because our life flows from it. We become careful about what we allow into our hearts and minds, what music we listen to or movies we watch or what friends we hang out with, because we know they affect us. And as we do that, we become more like Christ and we can cure the sickness within us.